Good afternoon, Dominic Hyson. Let's begin the warm-up session. Why did you choose to become a nurse?
There are several reasons why I chose nursing. First of all, many of my relatives are nurses, and their stories inspired me a lot. Besides, nursing is a profession with an ocean of opportunities, both native and abroad. Above all, this is a service-oriented profession in which I can serve humanity. Hence, I chose nursing as my career.
Why did you choose OET?
It is my long-term ambition to work as a registered nurse in any English-speaking country, such as the UK, Ireland, and so on. To meet the requirements to register as a nursing professional there, I need to prove my English language proficiency. Hence, I chose OET to fulfill my dream. Moreover, OET is tailored according to the needs of nursing professionals. I believe I could perform well in this test.
What are the current trends in your profession?
Nursing is a dynamic profession, and changes happen daily. Nowadays, technology plays a vital role in my profession. For instance, paper records that we used in older days have been updated to electronic records. Besides, at present, we are following evidence-based practice, which means there is a scientific rationale for every procedure. Moreover, in the present days, a nurse can function as a nurse practitioner, which is equivalent to the position of a physician.
Do you have a role model?
Yes, I do. My role model is my mother. I follow many things that my mother does. It is from my mother that I learned the basics of kind behavior, decision-making, and organizing skills, a polite and humble manner, helping and sharing mentality. The care and respect she gives to everyone makes me wonder sometimes. She is a perfect example of womanhood. I believe a nurse should possess all these qualities. She is my superhero.
Which is your favorite destination? Why?
My dream destination is Australia. The first and foremost thing is that Australia has a world-class healthcare system, and I can be a part of it. Secondly, the country has a better standard of living and economic and political stability. Besides, here nurses are paid well and respected too. In addition, I have many friends and relatives over there, so they can help me during my initial days.
Your preparation time is over. You can now start your roleplay.
Hello, Mihiraa. Please have a seat. I know seeing a rash on Calvin can be really worrying, so thank you for bringing him in. I've just finished examining him, and I'm glad to say we can figure this out together. Now, I'd like to go over what I believe is causing Calvin's rash, explain it all clearly, and then talk about how we can make him more comfortable and prevent it in the future. How does that sound?
That sounds good, thank you. I've been so concerned seeing all these red bumps on his skin. Is it something serious?
I can completely understand your concern, Mihiraa. Based on my examination, Calvin has what we call a reactive rash from mosquito bites. This is actually very common, especially in young children. Their immune systems are learning to react to the mosquito's saliva, which causes this itchy, bumpy rash. The important things to know are that it's not contagious, he didn't catch it from someone else, and our main goals now are relieving his symptoms and preventing more bites. Does that initial explanation make sense? And what questions are coming to mind for you?
It does make sense that it's not contagious. But how can you be so sure it's mosquito bites? He's so itchy, and I was worried it might be chicken pox or an allergy to something he ate.
Those are excellent questions, and it's good to rule things out. Mihiraa, the reasons I'm confident it's mosquito bites are the classic appearance and pattern. The rash is focused on his exposed skin, his arms and legs, which is a big clue. The individual bumps have a characteristic raised appearance, and if you look very closely, many have a tiny central point where the bite occurred. The intense itching he's feeling is a classic allergic reaction to the insect saliva. I want to reassure you about the severity. This is typically a local skin reaction. Calvin isn't showing any signs of a systemic illness. The main complication we watch for is secondary infection if the bites are scratched too much. My main recommendation right now is monitoring the spots for any signs of that infection, which we'll talk more about.
Okay, that's a relief. But we haven't been anywhere unusual. Where could these mosquitoes be coming from?
That's exactly what I'd like to explore next to help us build a good prevention plan. To help me understand, Mihiraa, can you tell me about Calvin's recent activities? Where has he been playing, especially in the late afternoons or evenings?
Well, he's been in the backyard a lot this past week after daycare. We have a little sandbox and a swing set there. We also had a family picnic at the city park over the weekend, near the pond. No recent travel, though.
Thank you, that's very helpful. And thinking about your home environment, can you describe it a bit? For instance, do you often have windows open? Or have you noticed any areas of standing water, like in plant saucers or a bird bath? Also, have you been using any insect repellents or mosquito netting?
We do keep the windows open in the evening to cool the house down. We have a few potted plants on the patio. Their trays might have some water in them. We haven't used any repellent on him recently, to be honest. I wasn't sure what was safe for his age.
That's perfectly understandable, and it gives us a great starting point for prevention. Before we get to that, let's talk about what you've already done to help Calvin feel better. Mihiraa, what treatments or remedies have you tried at home for the rash or the itching?
I've been using a little calamine lotion on the spots, which seems to soothe them for a little while. I also gave him a children's antihistamine syrup last night because he was so restless and scratching a lot. I haven't tried any hydrocortisone cream. I wanted to check with a doctor first.
You've done a really good job managing it so far. The calamine and the antihistamine are both appropriate first steps. You mentioned the scratching, which is my biggest concern. How much has he been scratching, and have any of the spots looked raw or crusty?
He scratches a lot, especially when he's tired or not distracted. A couple of the bumps on his legs look a bit scabby now because he's broken the skin.
I see. Thank you for telling me that. So moving forward, Mihiraa, let's talk about some practical ways to help him feel better now and avoid more bites in the future. For the bites he already has, alongside the calamine lotion, you can use a cool, damp cloth as a compress on the itchy spots. A cool temperature can really help soothe the inflammation and reduce the urge to scratch. Since scratching is our main concern, keeping his fingernails very short and clean is a simple but powerful step to prevent him from breaking the skin and causing an infection. Sometimes the best medicine is a good distraction. Keeping him engaged in a fun activity can often take his mind off the itch. To prevent new bites, we can look at making a few changes. I recommend using an insect repellent that is registered with the EPA and labeled as safe for his age. I can point you to some specific brands. Dressing him in long, loose-fitting, light-colored clothing when he's playing outside, especially during dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active, creates a great physical barrier. It also helps to empty any standing water around your home, like in plant saucers, as these are where mosquitoes breed. Most importantly, I want you to know when to seek further care. Mihiraa, please bring him back if any bite area becomes much redder, swollen, warmer, or more painful, which could be a sign of a skin infection called cellulitis. Also, if he develops a fever or if any single bite swells into a very large, blistering reaction, those are clear signs he needs to be seen again. Otherwise, with these steps, he should be much more comfortable soon.
Okay, that gives me a much clearer plan.
Wonderful. Mihiraa, let me just summarize everything for clarity, Mihiraa. We've diagnosed Calvin with a very common reactive rash to mosquito bites, which is not contagious. We identified likely exposure from playing in the yard and the park. You've already started helpful treatments with calamine and antihistamine. Our plan is to add cool compresses, manage scratching with short nails and distraction, and focus on prevention by removing standing water, using safe repellent, and covering up. You'll watch for signs of infection or fever as reasons to return. Does that summary match your understanding? And is there any part you'd like me to go over again?
No, thank you so much.